which leads us to our next guest. Um, and this is a company that I've known for 3 or 4 years. Keeping in mind the show, I keep saying it as a resource. In this particular case, the GI post 9/11 GI Bill, rehab, those are all benefits that if you're a veteran, you've earned. I know I'm talking to veteran or check that active duty out there on the military bases who are listening in. I know that some of you are going through or about to go through TAP, which is the Transition Administrative Program. If you are 6 months from leaving the military, or 3 months or a month, I could not urge you more to reach out to the DAV in your state. They will likely, as you're transitioning out, assign a transition service officer to help you through that. I'm telling you, there are a lot of boxes that need to be checked off with regards to your benefits. And let's say you get out and you want to go to school right away, maybe college, what those benefits are. Start getting, make your application, file for those benefits before you get out, so that when you leave base and you get home and you're happy and your family's thrilled to have you home, and 4 weeks, 5 weeks pass and you realize, oh gosh, I should have done this. Well, it's done. Get it done during transition. I can't urge you enough. And I know if Teresa was still on, and I know she's listening, and I can see her shaking her head, do that. And here is a company that I got to tell you something. It's one of the reasons I started doing what I'm doing to help veterans, and the company is the Ding King Training Institute. They're based out in California, but they have schools throughout the country, including the great state of Texas. They have a great focus on veterans, and joining us now is one of their master technicians. Call him the professor. I do. Isn't he a good-looking son of a gun? Gosh, James, you clean up well. And so I want to welcome my friend James Ramirez. As I said, James is a master instructor, professor extraordinaire, as I call him, teaching the class. So, James, welcome to the show today.
Hey, Greg. Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me.
You bet. So in the background, you can see right off of his, say it'd be your right shoulder, our left, the classroom, part of the classroom. But what I want to talk about today, James, and I know you heard the whole show, and Tawny has 4 children. Sergeant Gonzalez has 4 children. Alyssa, Adrian, Kaylin, Emery, who are all one day going to be able to, in some form or fashion, use Sergeant Gonzalez VA benefits and GI Bill. And, as it relates to not just college, but in this particular case, an industry that is, quite frankly, booming, I will say, and that is effectively the paintless dent repair, but it's bigger than that. So describe that to our listeners, because I just did a lousy job. It's more than PDR. So for Tawny's kids, if you were talking to Tawny and her kids right now, or other Tawny's out there, other kids out there listening, or veterans listening and contemplating something to do, talk a little bit briefly about the Ding King Training Institute.
Well, first off, I want to just send, my condolences to Tanya and the rest of the Gonzalez family, and say thank you to Sergeant Marty Gonzalez for his service. This is obviously a difficult situation, but again, send our condolences.
Thank you.
Keep their family in prayer.
You're a good soul. You're a good soul.
With, like you mentioned, though, with the Ding King isn't only something that offers only paintless dent repair. It's so much more than that. We not only help these guys learn the systems that we teach, but we're also helping them create a business and basically, start to change their life and go in a totally different direction or a new direction.
Right. Right. And I think that's key. For those of you out there who have that entrepreneurial spirit, and maybe you don't even know you have the entrepreneurial spirit, you may say, I don't want to work for some son of a gun, or worse, I could say, but I won't. I've said my dirty word for the day. And you don't want to work for someone else. Here's an opportunity to work for yourself. Or if you want to work for someone else, get a skill. And let me tell you about this school. They're the #1 rated school in the country. They are embraced by the likes of Mercedes-Benz and Tesla. Just talk about that a little bit. The companies that come to you guys for this.
Well, we've had the pleasure of training, like you stated, Mercedes-Benz, Tesla, the Fisker Karma Group, AutoNation, who else? Volvo, Toyota, Ford. I mean, I myself have been in every single one of those manufacturing plants, along with, them trusting in us and sending us their technicians to train them and show them these techniques that we offer.
Right.
And with that, being allowed to step into those doors there, into those manufacturing plants, that I think that alone says something in itself.
Amen.
What we do.
Yeah, they don't just let anybody in the door, especially Tesla. I mean, that's got to be a clean environment, right? Or sterile.
Oh, very. That was one of the best manufacturing plants I've ever been in.
Yeah, I'm sure. And so, for these companies to trust the Dean King Training Institute as they do, I think says a lot. This I will throw in there. The company's been around for almost 30 years.
Yep.
James, tell everybody how long you've been with the company.
Well, I started here in 1998. Graduated high school and started here the following month and been here ever since.
So you're an old bastard too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can say that.
Yeah, 22 years. And so I will say to you that I think the average out there of the staff is about 18 years. And that says a lot, not only about the school, but the founder, Todd Sudek, who started this company in about 1993, I believe it was. It says a lot about the family, the school itself, etc. And so what I'd like you to do is, for those contemplating this, talk about the environment that they're going to learn in. I talked about family, etc. So in general, talk about the environment, the learning environment there.
When every student comes through the door, we try to make them feel as comfortable as possible, whether it's one of our veterans who are coming through to get some training, or it's an individual that was sent down from a dealership or body shop, or an entrepreneur coming in on his own. We try to make everybody feel at home. We find that it's the best learning environment for guys to feel more relaxed, as opposed to a boot camp, something where guys are in their face and yelling at them and so on. We try to make it as relaxed as possible. We greet everybody. We have a nice, clean facility. In this day and age now, we're trying to be as safe and as clean as possible with everything that's going on today. So everybody's protected here. Everybody, like I said, is clean. Everybody has their own workstations. And we get these guys going. We're starting everybody from the ground up. And by the time they're gone, whether they're here for a week or 5 weeks or 9 weeks or however long it is, they're part of our family.
Yeah.
And I stress that point a lot, and sometimes I can't stress it enough, how much we make ourselves available to these guys.
Yeah.
Being a head instructor and master instructor of the Dean King Training Institute and overseeing all of the schools that we have, I myself have went through different training centers and training certifications and so on, and at no point was I ever given the instructor's direct cell phone number to give them a call or text them if I had a problem. It was always call 1-800 and
I need help.
One for this question and so on. Exactly.
Right. Good point.
But we make ourselves available to everybody from the top, from Todd Sudek, president, all the way down to every other employee here.
Right.
And again, we try to let the customers know and students know that, hey, there's no reason for you to go out there and struggle on your own, suffer on your own, and try to figure it out on your own.
Right.
We're available to you guys.
Right.
Us. This is what we do. We are a training institute.
We've got James up on the screen right now. We pulled up the flyer. You've seen it before. It's 12 ways to grow your business, and it talks about auto reconditioning. We're also going to put the website up in a moment, but as everyone who's viewing this right now, as you can see, these 12 different ways. So these are also 12 areas that they will teach you, if you will. And so those are all the different areas. So there's headlights, paint chips, chipped windshields, interior repair. I know there's odor mitigation on there, etc. And I've taken the flyer before when I've gone on the road to military bases or what have you, and I've handed this out, and I told people, I said, look, here's my phone number. Call me if you ever need any questions, or if you're not getting a response, call me. And so that's what this school is about. But here are different areas that you can go build a business. If you only want to do one aspect, one of the hot things now is ceramic coating, PDR work, aka hail damage repair, etc. So these are all ways that you can learn, but or things you can learn. But I want to talk about, James, if you could go just for a few minutes, time we have left, some of the veterans that come there and those who are out there right now contemplating picking up the phone and or going to the website. My son had some pretty severe PTSD. He had traumatic brain injury, which he's better now. But those sitting out there listening right now, I want to say to you, reach out, but talk about those veterans who come in, some with obvious injuries, others not so obvious injuries. How do you manage for that when you've got someone who's suffering, quite frankly?
Well, with every student, we have a curriculum first off that we follow, okay? But with every student, we do change it based on their needs, and like you said, some individuals, their disability or their issues that they're dealing with aren't necessarily as plain and right out in the open as others. Okay?
Right.
And so some guys we have to really just take our time with and be really patient with.
Right.
And we've really learned, myself and my instructors, across the U.S. have really learned to deal with the individuals who come through here, and be very patient with that. Whether it is something that is underlying, whether it is something that maybe occurs because they hear a loud bang in the shop, or whatever it is. Right. We try to be as what's the word I'm looking for?
Aware.
As understanding as we can, and showing that care and that nurturing towards these individuals. Yeah. At the same time, still keeping them in the right direction and keeping them focused. Right. Right. And usually with our veteran students that come through here, we don't have to worry about that dedication or that focus, because once we give them a task, they're awesome. They stay on it. Right. And that's one thing that they come through here. The one quality that they all carry is they have that focus and that drive and that that dedication. Once they're given a task, they want to see it through to the end. Right. Whether good or bad, they just want to see it through to the end and finish the job. Right. But like I said, we've dealt with several individuals here, over the past couple of years now, that have had some cases to, from very light to a little bit more, severe issues. And like I said, we don't try to single that one guy out. We still keep the guy on pace.
Or gal, right?
Or gal. I'm sorry. Yes, I have a bad habit of saying that. Or gal, guy or gal. Yes. And we adjust according to that individual student. Gotcha. And we are very sympathetic to what they've dealt with and what they've been through. Right. I wasn't in their shoes. Right. At that point when I graduated high school, I happened to meet Todd, and I was kind of unsure on what I was going to do. My other option was actually to go into the Marines with several of my buddies. Got it. And 4 of them went. I didn't go after all. Things happened. Sure. God had a different plan for me, and
sure.
and this is the plan that I came. And
right. And now you're serving in a different way now, quite frankly.
Yeah, and it's kind of come full circle for me to actually now work with veterans,
right.
Guys that are my age that I'm able to teach and show and did have these experiences, and they're able to come through and use their benefits that they've earned. It wasn't something like you said earlier on the show that it wasn't gifted to them. This is stuff that they earned.
Yeah, amen. Amen. Well said. So we're going to wrap it up here in just a moment, but likely have James back on the show again next week, along with my two most favorite people in the whole wide world, and that is Michelle and Cher, to talk about benefits, etc. And the website that we wanted to, it just had the all by itself. If you can pull that up, and we'll click over to that, James. It's the veteran website. You can go to the main website, which is dingking.com, and read through the whole site if you'd like to. But there is also a special website for veterans that we like to shepherd folks to who are veterans. And it's veterans.thedingking.com, I believe is the one. And the Ding King is a proud sponsor of Disabled American Veterans, and they are. They're wonderful folks. I urge you to reach out. James is a great guy. I urge you to reach out to Cher and Michelle and talk about your post 9/11 GI Bill. If you're a veteran, a family of, spouse, whatever, reach out to them. They are incredibly talented. They're sincere, they're soulful, and they will work for you as hard as the DAV works. I can tell you that right up front. So go to their website. Phone number will be on there as well, veterans.thedingking.com, and just reach out to those folks if you're considering it. James, I want to say to you again, thank you, my friend, for what you do to help our veterans. Next week, before we start the show, James did an incredible video when we had our telethon on Veterans Day to raise money for the DAV. And we raised quite a bundle. I will tell you, they were very happy. And James provided a video for the Ding King. He did most of the work and heavy lifting, and we'll show that next week. And that'll kind of tell you the type of person James is, but also the entire organization, because they're so heart-filled with veterans care and wanting to help veterans. So, James, buddy, thank you again. Have a great rest of your day. Please go say hi to Cher, Michelle, and everyone else that's there. You're awesome. And we'll talk again next week if you're good.
All right. Well, thanks again for having me, and you guys have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, James. Take care.